Hi everybody, welcome back to another episode of Book It and Cook It. I'm Vicki.
And I'm Cara.
And today we're doing olive oil and herbed cornbread. Our spice of the month is rosemary. And at the end of this video, I'm going to tack on another little video I made on how to season a cast iron skillet if you don't know. I had to re-season the one that we're using today because I haven't used it in a while. So Cara is going to tell you a little bit, I'll tell you the recipe and a little bit about rosemary.
This is a fairly straightforward cornbread recipe. So you have 1 tablespoon of grated parmesan cheese, 1 cup of all-purpose flour, 1 cup of yellow cornmeal, 2 teaspoons of baking powder, 1/4 teaspoon of baking soda, 1 teaspoon of kosher salt, 1 tablespoon of fresh rosemary finely chopped. And if you get the kit, you'll have dried, but I have the ratio of fresh to dried so you'll have the ingredients there. 1 tablespoon of fresh thyme chopped, 1/4 cup of honey or sugar, and we're using honey today. 1 cup of buttermilk, 2 large eggs, and 2 tablespoons of quality extra virgin olive oil. And then when you get all that mixed in, you will add another 1/2 cup of Italian shredded cheese blend. So that's it. And then rosemary, the spice, originated in Tudor England, and it symbolized a woman's fidelity, but it was said that if a man was unable to smell its aroma, he was not one to be loved. Even before its virtues in cooking were discovered, the Romans used rosemary to aromatize wine. And rosemary flowers vary in color from purple to light blue. They are picked May to August, and like the leaves, they are used for infusions.
Okay, so we'll get started here. It's, like Cara said, a very simple cornbread recipe. If you've not made cornbread, it's very easy. So we have our cast iron skillet right here, and I put 2 tablespoons of oil in there and swished it around so it got up on the sides. And there's extra in the bottom for it so the cornbread does not stick. And then Cara is adding the ingredients to our bowl. So you preheat your oven to 425, and you want to place your skillet in the oven, but ours is still pretty warm. If it hasn't been in the oven, you want to heat it up for 10 minutes. And then in the large bowl, she's going to whisk together the first 9 ingredients, which is the cheese, the Parmesan cheese, flour, cornmeal, powder, the baking powder, the baking soda, the salt, and the rosemary, the thyme, and the honey. Right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yes. Yes. If you're using sugar, like she said, it would be sugar, but we're using honey today.
There's the flour, the cornmeal, and the Parmesan cheese. Now next I'll add our leavening ingredients, which is the baking soda and the baking powder.
So 1/4 teaspoon of soda and 2 teaspoons of powder. That one's gone empty.
Yeah. There's your baking soda. And now the baking powder. And make sure when you're using baking powder that you've checked the expiration date, and because baking powder can be kind of finicky.
It can go flat, I guess is the word I want to use.
Yeah, it won't
make your things not rise like they should.
There's the baking powder and the baking soda. Now we have salt. And I'm just going to eyeball the salt because you're supposed to use kosher salt, and we only have table salt today. The kosher salt will be more coarse, so we just kind of want to eyeball.
It's supposed to be a teaspoon.
But since we have the ground, I'm not going to do a whole teaspoon. I think that looks pretty good. Okay, then we need our 1 tablespoon of fresh rosemary, but we have dried for our packet, so you'll put 1 teaspoon of the dried.
Yes, dried is a lot more
potent
than fresh.
Okay, there's the 1 teaspoon of
rosemary. And then we do have fresh thyme, so she
went ahead and chopped it
up. So you have a tablespoon of fresh thyme. And again, if you're using the dried, you'd only want to use a teaspoon.
And then we have our
1/4 cup of honey.
And this is a 1/2 cup, so I'm only going to fill it half full. This might take me a while. Okay, that looks pretty good. That looks like it's about half the cup.
Oops, sorry.
Okay. Okay, there's a little bit more. There we go. There's the honey.
And you're going to whisk that all together.
I'm just going to stir it.
I'm just going to stir with a spatula.
And then when I add my wet ingredients, which we've already got the buttermilk, the eggs, and the olive oil in here, I will do that. Now I will pour that in. And now I'm going to mix all of this up, and once it's all mixed up, then we're going to add the other Italian cheese. And like any other quick bread, you don't want to, you just want to mix it till it's all incorporated, because if you mix it too much, it'll be dry, and so that looks pretty good.
You just don't want any dry spots.
Yeah, you don't want any dry spots, but you don't want to over mix it either, because it will make it a less tender bread. Yeah. So there's that. Now we're going to add a 1/2 cup of Italian cheese. Okay. And I've got a 1/4 cup measure here because I used the 1/2 cup for the honey. So I'm going to put 2 of these in. There's 1. And there's 2. And then you're supposed to have 2 more tablespoons of the cheese. And we're going to put that on top. After we get it in the pan, you're supposed to sprinkle cheese on top. And this is what your cornbread mixture is at. So it's a quick dinner time bread. If you want to make like chili or something, you can make this to go with it. Excuse me, make this to go with it. It's all mixed. Now we'll put it in our pan. I'm gonna spread it into our hot cast iron skillet. That's pretty good. Now we'll just, and you can see the olive oil that's in the pan. We're supposed to put 2 tablespoons of olive oil in it, and it will absorb when you bake it.
Darn it, sorry.
And then now you're going to take another 2 tablespoons of cheese. And sprinkle it on the top.
And then we were also going to decorate it with a little bit of thyme too. Since we have fresh thyme, you can put a couple sprigs on top of it.
There's that.
If you had the fresh rosemary, you could do it with that too. But you could put a little thyme on the top just to let people know what's in your dish. And then this is going to go in, like I said, in a 425 degree oven for 12 to 15 minutes, or until it's golden brown and a toothpick inserted in the center comes out clean.
And there you go.
So we're gonna put this in the oven, and then we will show you what it looks like when it comes out. Okay, welcome back. Our cornbread is finished. It took about 17 minutes, but here is what it looks like. Looks tasty, smells delicious. So Cara and I are gonna cut it. It's gonna be hot, but we'll see what this tastes like. Here, I'll put you down here. So you can see how it absorbed all of that oil, and it's gonna come out nice and clean from our pan.
And it looks really nice and tender.
So we'll just cut some wedges here. Staff is once again going to love us today. Oh yeah, look at that. Look at that. The crust on it. See how that looks nice and brown? And you can see the cheese in the center. Here's a piece for me, here's a piece for Cara.
And if you like honey on yours, you can put honey.
You can put
We've
honey.
got butter. We've got,
Yeah. You could do hot honey.
yeah.
Hot honey would be good on this.
Uh-huh.
I like hot honey. So we're gonna taste this. It's gonna be warm, but I'm just gonna pick up a piece. Oh, that's good.
Mmm.
You can really taste the herbs.
Yeah, that's really good. And the sweetness of the honey we use comes through.
Very good. I would recommend making this. It's really easy.
And honestly, I don't even think you would need butter with it, with the olive oil taste that's...
It's very moist, very tender. Okay, our spice next month is not really a spice, but cocoa.
We're going to make homemade cocoa mixes so that instead of buying Swiss Miss, we can do that.
Yeah, and then in October, we're going to make marshmallows. So look forward to those two videos coming out in September and October, and we'll see you next time.
Thank you. Bye.
Hi everybody. I am going to show you how to season a cast iron skillet. We're using a cast iron skillet today in our video for our cornbread with rosemary and thyme. It's called olive oil herb cornbread. And the skillet that I'm using, I haven't used in a while, so it needs some seasoning. So what I have here is some lard in my skillet, and I'm going to let this melt until there's no solids left. And then I will take a paper towel and wipe out all the excess. And then we're going to put it in a oven that's preheated to about, I preheated ours to about 410 degrees. And you're going to put it in there upside down for an hour. And that's going to re-season my pan. So I'm going to let this melt, and then I'll come back and show you what it looks like after it's melted. And I forgot to tell you too, you want to also season the handles if your pan has handles. And also you want to wipe some on the outside, because you're going to, like I said, you're going to put it upside down in the oven. So I'm going to continue melting here. It's almost all melted, but I just keep wiping it on the sides and on the tops on the handles here. My spoon. Back of the spoon, just keep going over that until it's all melted. So I'll be back. Okay, our lard is pretty much melted. So I turned off the burner, and I just had it on a medium-low setting. If you don't need it on a high setting. And so then I have a piece of paper towel, and you want to wipe off the excess. And I probably had too much in here. You only need about probably a couple teaspoons or half a tablespoon maybe. So you're just going to wipe this until it's all absorbed. Put the trash can over here, throw this in. And I just got a stack of paper towels here. So we're just going to keep wiping this until it's absorbed all of the extra. And then you're going to buff it with your paper towel until it's dry. And then, like I said, upside down in a between 400 and 425 degree oven for an hour. So you see how my paper towel has absorbed all the extra, but it's still pretty shiny. So we're going to come back in here and just keep wiping that. And if your cast iron has a little bit of rust in it or on it or anything like that, you can take a piece of steel wool and get the rust off of it. But sorry, my tripod is not cooperating. So you see how I'm putting that on the edges there, all around it. And then I'm going to take another paper towel just one more time and get that extra. Make sure I have all the extra out of the middle of the pan here, out of the bowl of the pan, I guess is what I want to say. And you don't have to do this every time you use your cast iron. I have another skillet that I use almost every day, and it is well seasoned. So this one, like I said, I haven't used in a while. So just like that, and then upside down, 410, my oven's at 410. Upside down, 400 to 425 degrees for an hour. And then you're going to turn the oven off and leave the pan in there to cool. And that's all there is to seasoning a cast iron skillet. So Cara and I will be showing you how to make our cornbread in just a little while. And I forgot to tell you too, you might want to put a cookie sheet underneath on the bottom rack. You'll want to put your pan on the top rack upside down. You might want to put a cookie sheet on the bottom rack underneath it to catch any oil that comes out of it as it heats up, so you don't get oil on the bottom of your oven and have a smoky mess. Here's what my setup looks like. Just wanted to show you. I've put a pan underneath the skillet, and like I said, we're going to let that go for an hour. Okay, our pan has been in the oven for an hour, so I'm going to turn the oven off and let the pan cool down in the oven for probably another hour, hour and a half, and then I'll show you what it looks like when it comes out.